All right.
Well, what about you? Hey, then this is where you give your answer. I mean, come on. You don't just put me on the spot.
Let's see. I do like the baseball behemoth you pointed out. The pirate calamity is not my favorite. I like the Mother of Dragons one personally, but that one's okay. Man, see, I don't like to be controversial, but I'm not a fan of the Fat Nymphora.
Get out of here.
Sorry, I knew that was going to stir up some ruckus, but I really wanted the Koala Bensington one for example, the one where he rides the platypus. That one, that one's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. The icy Deadwood, like, come on, man. You either got to go Cornstalker or Flaming Deadwood. This is like way too old school on the Deadwood skin.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's some give and takes here, for my personal taste.
I like the Loki Corrupted Disciple as well, which he's not running here. He's what is this one? I don't even know what it's called, but
no idea. I'm not too much of a CD spammer. I think it's Idiom. It's called. I just checked in Learnatorium. Okay, so I called the lanes somewhat right for at least for Hellborn. They're running Behe with CD. They'll fissure wall the creep one or two times and try to get lane control like near their tower.
Rampier, he played CD several times last tournament and offlane that. He did great on it, so yeah, not surprised there.
Do you still get thrown off by the no hatchet on some range heroes? I guess Thirsty has one, which he's liking that, but like Rampier doesn't have a hatchet on CD. It's definitely more odd in the NAEU scene. It's like a religious thing you do by hatchet on farming heroes.
If you didn't mention that, I would not. I honestly have not noticed that. So obviously, yeah, glad. It's great that you're here because that isn't. Is that something that they do? Oh, actually, top lane, Martyr's dead.
It's like
yeah, Martyr's dead. That's a bloodlust. So the Legion team,
they're running a tri-lane.
At least initially. Just for the kill.
Yeah, I haven't seen them tri-lane in so long. Okay, well, Nymphora TPs, they just wanted the kill at the start. Okay, well, it worked out. They got a kill. Give themselves a lead. And Bensington got that, so he's up to an early 560 GPM mark. Get him like early marchers or some lane sustaining item, maybe a shield or something.
All right, yeah, these lanes. So it's kind of Kolik's on Torture. Kolik has been playing a lot of different heroes, and that's what I've loved watching him throughout these tournaments. Arguably, I didn't think arguably, definitely one of the best carry players certainly throughout these events, and especially when it comes to just farming. But Torture, I don't think he's played Torture yet, and not the typical girl that he's not the right click carry, right? This is more of obviously relying on your abilities to farm and do damage and everything. So intrigued to see how Kolik plays the Torture here. But of course, Baby Sap by Nymphora, feeding that mana, I'm sure over time is going to be very useful too. So expecting still great things out of him.
Hey, Breaky, so like a while back, I don't know if it was like 2 weeks ago or something, I asked Kolik what name he used to play under back in the day. Do you remember the name Carry ACT for Myth Mixes? Does that ring a bell?
Carry Act? Carry ACT?
Yeah, I say ACT, but yeah, Carry Act. Do you remember that name? That was his name way back in the day.
So he played for Myth, you said? Yeah,
so he played with, I believe 5678 was on that team as well.
Yeah.
And even ESC, who is on Lunar Tier, I don't know if it's the same guy, but I want to believe it is. If so, those guys all played together.
Okay.
On that Myth Mixes tier.
Yeah, I kind of figured, some of those former players would still be playing PK, and obviously, eventually coming back for Reborn too. And it's cool to hear, yeah, so just some name changes. And I'm sure as time moves on, we'll get more and more clarification on that. But yeah, always good to hear. Dewo, by the way, Dewo's blocked. Dewo literally is blocked here in the mid lane.
Oh, what the heck is going on here?
Oh, no, he's still alive, though.
Does he actually kill him? Oh my god! That was either the biggest brain bait of the century, or I don't know, the HoN gods just awoken and said, 5678, you must win this duel. He just kills him. What just happened?
I am baffled. How? So he was healing with bottle
I don't know what he
charges.
said. I don't know what he said, but I have to imagine there's some like fun banter going on there.
Well, yeah, we know what the 555 means. I mean, but
True, yeah.
obviously Kraken's giving some respect right there. That was something. That was one of the craziest brawls I've ever seen. And somehow Deadwood actually winning that. I did not see that coming. Unbelievable. He actually won that. Either way, I mean, he had to go back, obviously, but now back in. But I mean, that's pretty big. He gets the kill on Kraken. That's a solo kill in the mid lane. You certainly take that if you're the Deadwood here.
I mean, if you're Shinon there, you're like, that's a free kill, right? Like that's
I thought it was.
That's just like, there's no world where you actually feel like, oh, Deadwood actually turns that and kills me.
That's what I'm saying. He just started healing all of a sudden. I guess it was the perfect bottle charge use in between the auto attacks, basically.
I think he had an apple in there as well. Just everything aligned perfectly. Now the problem is, once he hits 6 on the Deadwood, I think he can almost like just one-shot the Kraken if he hits his root.
Right.
Like this matchup is, I would say, favored toward the Deadwood. Oh, here we go.
Well, we're gonna see it.
Yeah, there it is, the one-shot.
And right on cue, you know. Happen to talk about it, and sure enough, I was gonna say it's like landing the root though is the key, right? It's not the easiest to necessarily land sometimes, but well, he landed it, and he gets the kill.
Buff though, like you know, it's a 1.15 second delay. It used to be 1.35. I know, small semantics, but you know, it does actually matter in the end because it becomes harder to dodge at that point once you see the Deadwood throw out mana. Bottom lane, Torture gets a kill as I ramble on. Sorry.
Well, you're fine. I mean, you look at Ikora rotating over. Life Leech used, and so Ikora, we're setting up a bit of a tri-lane down here. Going to put some pressure on the tower. Now, Torture doesn't have Impalement yet, so we're not necessarily going to see a big tower push here, but top lane, Sir Bensington is being Dovo. They're taking advantage of Ikora missing. Of course, they're very aware of this. He's trying to avoid those dragons, and he will joust away and survive in the end, so very close call there, but Bensington lives. However, top tower is going to take some good damage here in favor of the Hellborn team now. So Calamity making use of that.
Yeah, even with the Bloodlust, it's still a very hard lane for Bensington. Going up against the double range and the just constant dragon harass from Calamity. Plus Martyr being like more or less almost like a strength support. He's very tanky. So it's hard for Bensington. He's got some build up early, but GPM just, you know, hovering around 300. Lemonies isn't really like taking off either though, so at the same time, kind of keeping him in check a bit.
No, I mean, this is fantastic if you're Skycruise. I gotta feel, I mean, especially in comparison to the last game and what we've seen throughout these events. I mean, these teams are just known for brawling and not afraid to fight and getting kills early on. I mean, there's still 0 kills on the side of Lunar Tier at 6.5 minutes. That to me is one of the most standout points, honestly. So yeah, you got to feel pretty good if you're Skycruise, as they're up that 4-0, almost a 3,000 overall gold lead. Yeah, Deadwood obviously a big part of that, absolutely. I'm curious to see. I was gonna say, you know, when does he maybe start moving, making some moves? And here we go. The smoke, he got Ghost Marchers, and now where does he go with this? The Willowmaker's ready.
They expect like something because B is trying to sit like in fog behind the Kraken to just stun the Deadwood when he tries to punch, which is very smart. But and with Ikor showing mid, it's like something's not right here. So they're reading it very well, but what will actually happen in the end?
Will it matter? That's the key. Bottom lane?
Bottom lane, they're diving Haystern on the Torture.
Oh, that's a good rune to have. TP is coming in from Kraken, though. They get the kill on Corrupted, but at what cost for Torture? He avoids the release of Kraken, but the stuns are too much. Here comes a Nightfall, though. He's got a Joust, and needs to land it on Behemoth. Behemoth juking. He's going left, going right. Can he land the Joust? That's the key. Yes, he can. Is it going to be enough damage? The heal from Nymphora successfully makes it happen. And at least they get the revenge for the Torturer. So a lot of movement now. And, well, Lunatir gets their first kill finally, but still overall better news for Skycruise.
That's what happens when you have a Haystern. The confidence kicks in, and before you know it, you're out of position. Good response from Lunatir.
Top lane?
The top lane fight, yeah.
So Bensington actually, well, he missed his Joust initially, and Calamity almost got the turn as a result with the Sunders Vault. But Iker did a great job of saving him there, using the transfusion and kind of bodying them away. So, but somebody's dying here for sure.
Fissure. That's really nice vision.
Into the dragon spin. Well played. They do take out the Bensington. And Deadwood, obviously, he's out of mana, so not a whole lot he can do here.
He's running in like he's Superman here, but he's got team support from the Nymph TP, which is why he's doing this.
There we go. Is he going to ulti? And not necessary.
Didn't have mana at that point, but yeah, not necessary, as you pointed out.
There's our first Newerth TP, and that's something I was stressing with this lineup. This is a lineup. You know what? They must. I'm their coach, I guess. They were listening in because this is exactly what I was talking about, is it not? I mean, this is a team they want to win.
They'd be lucky to have you as their coach. Let me add.
They would be.
With all your competitive experience casting over the years, I would take you as my coach.
No, but that Newerth TP though, I mean that's exactly what you want to see this early on in the game.
Sure.
7-1 lead now, and there's another kill.
Yep. 5, 6, 7, 8. He didn't even need the Willowmaker there, so I guess just the raw right clicks with the Rotten Grass minus armor is just potent early game. I wanted to ask you, like, so we have this short farming Torture this game. Not your like typical carry per se, but you know we've seen this sometimes. He's got the sorcery boots picked up. Do you think we'll see like a full what's it called, Starscribe boots pick up, or do you think he'll like try to transition into some? Oh, he did it before I could get your answer.
Oh, what, Torturer?
Yeah, he just right clicked the Starscribe boots. I wanted your opinion on I wanted your opinion on like if he was gonna go like full early game and just like go and try to force, or if he was gonna go like try to pick up a Grimoire, a power, and like try to play the farm game.
Right.
Maybe it was the Starscribe recipe actually, because he only got the ornament delivered, so he doesn't quite have everything.
Yeah, he definitely needs more farm. I was gonna say that. I'm surprised if he even holds a.
He must have right clicked the item and got the recipe scroll, because it's like a 350 recipe or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I would have thought maybe like a Gnome's Wisdom is like another direction certainly too, but either way.
Top lane, spotted under a Riv Ward, but they are all 5 here.
Oh man.
With Kraken moving over.
That shockwave coming out, but here's an N4 TP. This is that return chance. The Sutter's Vault cutting them off, right for the Disciple. He has the Overload active, got the wings up as well. Release the Kraken coming in, and Calamity keeping her distance. Beautiful defense once again, coming out from Newerth. Just like in game number 1.
Dream-Man Rotten Grasp.
That is a big Rotten Grasp. It kills Corrupted, but it doesn't kill the others. That would have been clutch if it got all 3. But it only gets the 1, and still Newerth is very happy with that outcome. And I think the big... Oh, is that a Nightfall? It is. Joust. He doesn't see him.
Oh, he just missed him.
He just misses him. That was a free kill. Oh, no. And so Thirsty's going to TP back to base. Such a close call. I mean, he had the right idea, but the fog of war.
I respect it. I respect the blind ultis 100%, but... Oh man, like when you're watching, you just want it to happen, you know? It's right. Like, oh, you missed. Gonna run into a martyr who's like 75% HP, and he's gonna like, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to go for. Luckily for him, there's no TP stopper, so he can just stun into the base there and pour it out. But yep, I'm all for taking the risks, though. You know, it's a huge play if it works out. Not like, you know, too much downside to not going for it. Bottom lane, they're trying to find Corrupted. Good sidestep on the Nymph seal stun. Actually jukes down into the trees. Doesn't have
what
TP
just happened right there as Corrupted Disciple's likely dead. It's just he's just making this take forever. He just wants to farm. Look at the creeps, kill the creeps. Okay. Yeah, he's made them waste some time at least. So yeah, that was actually pretty well played by Corrupted. Pretty much certain death there. Matter of taking a while. But what I was gonna say is that if I'm the Legion team here, so Coach Breaky stepping back in, Sky Cruise.
Oh, all right,
guys, we can't let that. It was a good attempt, but obviously they played it defensively very well. We have to be ready for their response like that. Martyr especially, got to focus him. We cannot overstep another time. If we give them another one of those fights, then this is gonna quickly turn in their favor. So. Let's keep it cool. Look for our opportunities. If you're in M4, we see right here they might be grouping up soon to find somebody, but get some aggressive wards out. And you know what? They do have a pretty aggressive one in the Hellborn jungle at the shop. Actually, I like to see that.
Yeah, Benzington got that down after the ulti. Yep.
But yeah, you use those opportunities for sure with Nymphora, Wister, Benzington, and try to see if you can get those free kills. But hey, top or bottom tower push, you'll take that as well.
It looks like they're choosing not to defend this. Portal Key Kraken is very close, so they probably want to get to that timing before they look to take another big engagement. Shinnon's very close. Definitely, I think having it a bit later this game around, as the Deadwood had a little bit of a better early game than he did. It's 1 and 2 stat line, but he's gonna have it in the next minute or so here. A couple more creep kills. Deadwood also very close to Portal Key, but he's got build up here of a Lex Talionis, so he's got about a 80 GPM advantage over the Kraken. We have 4 players from Lunatic on the high ground here. They're gonna run into Icor. Huh. He melted.
Well, that's not we. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's pretty rare for Icor.
I was gonna. You took the words out of my mouth. Release the Kraken.
Sorry. She'll let you finish there. Oh, that's a big jump on the Deadwood. However, Sir Bennington comes in, but no, it's just one after the other. They're just dying. This is what I was talking about. You can't have happen. Oh no, that wasn't even a Nymphora TP. They give up a quad kill to Thirsty. And now Thirsty has +4 agility passive. By the way, we haven't really talked items a lot, but she's got a full vitalizer and the brass knuckles going into that. She just got a firebrand, taking another kill. As Icor thought about kind of checking things out again. You don't want to be doing that.
1 for 5, I think, and gold and XP is like equal. So prior to this fight, Skycruise was in the lead. And again, it's looking just like game number 1, kind of all over again. Good early game from Sky Crew, but a fight or two go in the way of Lunatic, and now all of a sudden they take some momentum. They have this double Agi core lineup, so their lineup is going to eventually scale better. In theory at least, over like a Torture Benzington, especially with the Benzington having like this low of a GPM, so he's not like transitioning very well. So it's very crucial that Skycruise continues to try to get like some good early game fights going, because if they start to fall behind, it's gonna be hard to come back against this Lunatic draft.
Yeah.
Mid lane. Ooh, the charge back doesn't stun him, but they catch the Icor.
Another free kill on him. So this what usually is to be not so squishy hero is just it's at 3 deaths in the last 2 minutes. Just death after death. So ultimate not going the best for him. And now you can tell Hellboy and Lunatic that they're feeling much more confident. I like to see what they're doing. They're just grouping up. They're just doing this death ball strategy. They're basically saying now we understand your lineup is all about kind of picking us off individually. Well, guess what? Perfect counter to that. We're just going to group up, use this vitalizer, and push down your lanes. I mean, this goes back to me for Lunatic. It's just they frankly are an impressive team right now with their team decision making and the way that they're going about playing these games. You can tell they put a lot of thought into this, and the experience is kicking in as of late. So another just good decision. They're going to team smoke.
TP from the Kraken setting up at the tier 2, and with them all missing, Skycruise backs off the mid tower. They might have seen that smoke on the ward bottom. I think the tree line gives the gap there to where they saw that smoke actually happening. Okay, you saw them just like run together to go as 5. So instead of staying split mid and top, they just group up top, secure at least one of the 2 towers, and then they make the smoke play more or less useless. So very good read there.
Yeah,
from Sky Crew. Something I wanted to point out, by the way, this is wild to me, so I have to point it out. Corrupted does not have a single point in Conduit. That is just wild.
You know what? Well, look at the Legion lineup, right? They don't have the obvious I want to Conduit you hero, and I think that it's a mix of that to me, as well as just with all the fighting happening. As a nice kill right there, by the way, on Kraken. So. Able to turn on him. But 4 points in that static discharge, I mean, that's, with all the fighting that is happening, that is doing a lot of damage in these fights, especially earlier on. Shockwave initiation, they go on Torture, they want the quick kill. Is it enough? He is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. Even with Nefora trying to save it. That's a Gnome's Wisdom Starscriber Boots Torturer. Unable to live still. And they kill Nefora on top of that. Ooh, Deadwood going in, trying to go for a quick pick, but that ain't gonna happen. So Looter tier, another fight in their favor, and this Calamity. I keep looking at those stacks, they just keep adding up. Now +6 agility. But yeah, so yeah, back to your point though about Corrupted Disciple. Obviously he has the 1 point now, I kinda have to, but this kind of just goes back to though, it's like this this willingness to be different and thinking on your toes in the situation. I mean, it's certainly not typical whatsoever, but it kind of makes sense. You clearly disagree, and I love it. Okay.
A little bit. I mean, there's some stuff where he triggers the little zap effect. You got like Deadwood Log, Ichor's got target spells. I guess Torture has his his bonds. I mean, I guess the one benefit is he runs really fast. He can run at people.
Well, let me ask you from this perspective. Who are you going to conduit in these fights effectively?
I mean, that's his damage source, really. So I guess he's just not valuing damage. Nymph TP.
Oh, by the way,
on the Calamity. Gosh. Surprise! Our whole team is here.
One key I have to stress there, what just happened, by the way, after this fight ends. Calamity bought back, by the way.
He did buy back, so they want to turn this. He's got Sunder's Vault. If he can line this up, they're all clumped up together. Oh, great Fissure Stun from B.
Myth goes in, there it is! The release the Kraken and the Wombo combo comes out. The Legion team fight against Torture, the last man standing. They kill Martyr, but at the end, it's a massive victory for Looter tier. That is a very worthy buyback for Calamity. Absolutely huge. But what I was going to stress, what happened at the beginning there, Nymphora TP 2 heroes from the mid lane. Behemoth almost stopped them. The Fissure Stun was just out of range of hitting them.
Oh.
And if that stops them, then obviously Calamity lives there. But hey, in the big picture, it actually worked out pretty well for Looter.
You know, one of the better uses of a buyback. He definitely wasn't, you know, upset at his teammates and just bought back for no reason. It was very good. I was very happy with his buyback.
No, I gotta go back to this though. So, all right, back to Corrupted Disciple.
Oh no, we have to talk about this again.
Well, no. I mean,
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Genuinely, who would you? I understand it's his main damage source, sure, but
I mean, it's not gonna do a whole lot against like Torture, for example, but you know, draining Deadwood, draining Bensington. I mean, I see your argument. I just feel it's more or less his best ability. Team fight happening.
Yeah,
this is all Lunar tier though. They're kind of starting to. I mean, this game is not over, by the way. This is only like a 6,000 goal lead, but it feels bigger. I feel like Lunar tier is leading by a lot more.
I'm with you there, and I kind of mumbled there as you said that. I was like, it's over. But you know, I don't. Okay, it's not 100% over. You're all right, but this obviously, yeah, the lead isn't that big, but I do think there is the factor of, as we both certainly have touched on, this Hellborn lineup is going to continue to scale much better now as this game goes on. And if you're Sky Cruise, I mean, they had this Torturer that was top GPM for a good chunk of this earlier game, and Colic, of course. Now, this is another case, though, similar to last game with the Swiftblade. Obviously, he's a way better player than me, but I have to just kind of bring this up for the sake of conversation.
Are you sure, though? Have you 1v1 him, Soul Stealer?
I haven't. You know, maybe I am better. That's fair.
You're going to challenge him later today.
We'll figure this out later.
To put it to the test. Anyway, go ahead.
But you brought up the conversation. You know, what does he go for? Well, he went to Starscriber Boots. Okay, and I get that, you know, a lot of fighting happening, this more is defensive sustainability in these fights. That's great. But then he followed up with the full Gnome's Wisdom. And to me, that's maybe a little bit of overkill on the defensive side, the sustainability side, where when it comes to damage output, maybe there could have used more, and that Light Brand in a Grimoire would have been the more appropriate direction instead. But, you know, obviously focusing much more on the defensive route, and it's just been death after death since then, it feels like.
Oh, they want to fight this. Lunartier's got a ward here on the pillar. Are they going to make it in time? They're not. He tried to get a fissure snipe, but just a couple seconds too slow. Calamity's DD is about to run out. She is going to Sunder's Fault here for a 2-shot on the Nymphora.
Jeez.
Makes quick work of that hero. Has the full Dawnbringer already.
I mean, yeah, she's just... many descriptive words you can certainly say for her, but it's unstoppable is certainly one that comes to mind.
Shockwave top lane onto Deadwood. TP coming in.
And there you go. Calamity's like, I got this, don't worry. Another kill to add on, plus 10 agility. I mean, she literally just has 1,000 gold worth more of items in her inventory because of that passive right now. So her GPM is kind of even higher when you think of her from that perspective. Kraken, by the way. Kraken's getting ballsy down here. Trying to make a play.
Torture healed a lot there from the Starscribe and the Gnomes.
On the, yeah, torturous side right there. Martyr, though, saving the Kraken. And Sir Benzington, the Nightfall in, ends up to be his death. And this is all without Calamity right now, by the way. She is joining in late. The shrunken head on Kraken, he's going to turn around and start running back because it's going to be wearing off soon. Nymphora gets picked off. And Calamity has to be careful taking the tower. But already pushing their tier 3 as we're approaching now the 25-minute mark into this game. This Calamity has another 3,500 gold saved up as well on her, so...
Is this guy printing money? What's happening?
Yeah, this is...
Keeps coming in. Good charge back on the Icor.
He's kind of living, but actually in the front lines too, they do pick off Calamity, so Martyr unable to save the Calamity right there, and that's actually a victory for Sky Cruise.
Run, shit on, run. Oh!
I mean...
Yes! He got the mana battery up just in time for the PKTP out. Oh, that's awesome. It was like mid-auto attack from the Icor, or maybe it was even the Life Leech coming out. And he disjointed it, PK'd, and TP'd. Perfect timing.
Yeah. And then Martyr actually lived too. Torture thought he had to kill Martyr, but I mean, again, Torture is, yes, he can do some good damage, but it ain't enough. And I think that's going to continue to be the biggest bane right now of this Legion's side. It's obviously they killed the Calamity there, so yes, they are capable of bursting people down thanks to especially Deadwood, but the sustained damage in these fights, they certainly really need. But a shrunken head now on Torture, of course, gives him more versatility in these fights and more movement and more freedom, really, so it's understandable. But now you have a barrier idol actually picked up by Corrupted Disciple, so that's kind of an answer even more to the Torturer and what he's doing here.
Yeah, he goes this like just tank up, run into them route, which kind of, you know, going back to how he spec'd the static discharge, that kind of fits like the theme of he just wants to be in the middle of everyone, not necessarily draining their attack, but you know, just like being up in their face, soaking damage, and having the barrier for everybody. So he's making it work. I wonder what he's gonna go now on the Torture though, because it's a very defensive build still.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, and the obvious is Grimoire, right? Or even Spell Shard. Is that crazy to say? Like, just at least get Spell Shards?
I think on the position 1 Torture, you probably don't want to go Spell Shards. Mainly just because there's other items that are better.
Like the Grimoire.
If he's forced to like defending his, yeah, exactly. If he's forced to defend his base, like he is potentially now, but they don't have like a token or anything where they can, you know, force the tower to go down quicker. You know, with the Kongor Siege buff is what I should have said, but he goes for a portal key here, so he wants the positioning aspect instead.
Deadwood hits Kraken with the release of Kraken. Well, Kraken with the release of Kraken kills Deadwood, so Deadwood's Willowkeeper not going to be enough, but here's Torture. That shrunken head, allowing him to do some good damage, actually, but the jump in from him, but as soon as it wears off, Calamity turns over the side. Oh my god! How did that turn so quickly? They were pushing so confidently, and then the second the shrunken head wore off, you could tell they just knew that was their timing. Beautiful by Lunar Tier. And GG is called. You can't blame them. There you go. Game 2 and the series going to Lunar Tier, and well, they continue the momentum from last tournament certainly here into this one.
Yeah, they, you know, the steamroll of the train just keeps going. So they had 3 Shrunkins